so they are killers. I've heard lots of people say once a man's a killer, he just keep on killing.
Imagine sitting on trial for murder and never once providing an explanation of what you were doing the day in question. If you are innocent, it should be very easy to explain your comings and goings from any particular day. You should be able to at least attempt to explain to the best of your recollection what you did that day. Who were you with? What did you do? During the trial of Richard Allen, no one was able to take the stand and explain what he was doing on that day. Not one person came to the defense of Richard Allen to offer up support for his alibi. How could anyone expect to be found not guilty when they can't even explain or even mention their whereabouts without it hurting the case? If you weren't over here committing a double homicide, what were you doing? The biggest piece of the puzzle for me in this case during the trial, in my opinion, was the lack of info from Richard Allen. The missing info from Richard Allen's movements and activities February 13th, 2017. Why didn't they ask the people who came in contact with Richard Allen about that day? Who were you with? What did you do? If they told the jury about that day, they would fill in the puzzle with the missing piece. The piece that paints Richard Allen as the killer. If a 1,000-piece puzzle is missing one piece, the image is still clear. During one of Richard Allen's confessions, he told his prison-appointed doctor that before committing the crime, he was in Peru, Indiana. Why haven't we heard from the people who were with Richard Allen that day? Those who came in contact with Richard Allen that morning must have noticed something was off about him. Why else would Richard Allen's defense team not make this clear to the jury? During his confession, he said he was with his mother and sister in Peru. They invited him to lunch, but instead of going to lunch with them, he grabbed a 6-pack of beer, went to his home in Delphi to quickly grab a jacket before heading to the Monon High Bridge Trail. If Richard Allen was doing something other than committing murder that day, he should be able to articulate that. His inability to explain his movements, the lack of info, in my opinion, was the most devastating part of the trial for his defense.
My God, so they are killers. I've heard lots of people say once a man's a killer, he just keep on killing.